What's happening, guys? Thank you so much. Welcome to the new Little Monster YouTube channel. Super exciting stuff. I'm really happy that number one, you guys are here. Number two, we got some Q&As for you. So I asked several days ago for some questions so that way I can answer them here with you guys, for you guys. And you guys had a lot of good questions, a lot of interesting questions, but all good stuff, everything in between, and yeah. So starting off, someone asked real talk. They started off with real talk. I like that. Real talk, which do you like more, Ghee or no Ghee? So I used to train in the Ghee every single day to the point where like I'd be getting ready for MMA fights and I was still training in the Ghee, but obviously, no Ghee is definitely my thing now. You know, I compete in the EBIs. I've competed in all of the first original submission-only tournaments. When they first started coming out, I was one of the first girls on the scene. So no Ghee is more of my thing, for sure. Plus, I like my leg locks. You can't really do most of those in the Ghee. When are you coming to Greece? Oh, for those of you that don't know, I am very Greek, very Greek. So how Greek am I? How Greek am I? My last name is Demopoulos. One time I ate baklava. No, I mean, of course. When I was younger, I was raised in Greece for several years. I went to kindergarten when I was in Greece, and then I moved here to America, and yeah, been here ever since. I used to go back every single year with my family, spend the summers there, do the Greek thing, but yes, I'm very Greek. So I am fighting on June 25th, and I'll be in Greece in July, at the end of July, beginning of August. For the most part, I'm gonna be heading over to the islands, like Santorini area, but yes, I will be in Greece. I love you guys. Someone asked, how long are you a dancer for, and are you taking a pay cut fighting MMA? That's a very good question, because I was a dancer for 13 years, and I danced all around the country. Originally, I was taking a major pay cut as a fighter. I was actually paying to fight for all of these years leading up to being in the UFC. So I would literally go to work and reinvest that money into fighting. Fighting wasn't making me any money. I just really believed in myself. And now that I'm in the UFC, where I have opportunities to make bonuses and sponsorships and all of that, it is even. It is even. I think I still made more money as a dancer, but I'm definitely enjoying my life more as a fighter, so it's worth the balance. Ooh, good question. Someone asked, when is your next fight? I'm fighting on June 25th. June 25th. Arr! So we have a fight against Jin Fry. It's gonna be at the Apex Center in Las Vegas. Make sure that you guys are watching on ESPN. Unfortunately, with the Apex Center, there's not a whole lot of seating. I wish you guys could be there in person and cheer for me and be excited with me, but I know that you guys will be there on the other side of those television screens, watching with me and cheering for me, so yes, June 25th. Someone asked that they're coming to Arizona soon, and when they come to Arizona, how can they meet me? Guys, so I don't do particular meet and greets all of the time, but if you ever see me out and about, if we happen to be in the same vicinity, please come up to me, say what's up, you know, like take a picture with me. Like, I love you guys. Like, sometimes, like, I don't know, like sometimes you guys are excited to meet me, but like for real, I'm excited to meet you guys, you know? So please make sure that you come up and say what's up, you know? If I see your messages on Instagram, I will respond, you know, and we can definitely meet up and say hello. So someone asked, do you ever get tired? It looks like you train 10 times a day. What's the secret? Yeah, I have a lot of energy. So I was blessed with something called ADHD. I'm like wild and jumping off of the walls, even pre-caffeine. But honestly, it's like a mindset, it's a lifestyle, you know, it's like what's in my heart. So I know that I love doing the things that I love doing, and I do them passionately. So like, I don't walk into my training sessions like, oh man, like, oh, I have to do another training session. Like, no, like, I want to do another training session. So it's really funny because like even the other day I walked into a jiu-jitsu and I was like on the mats and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I'm technically off work because like I did all of like my obligatory trainings for the day. This is extra, you know? So like I really like love training. I love being there, and that's why you see me training so much, probably more than I should. And I'm always getting told to like go home. So not a bad problem to have. How did you first discover BJJ? Well, I first discovered it because I was fighting Muay Thai, and I was like training every day, like 3 times a day, and I helped to build an MMA gym called Ronin Training Center in Columbus, Ohio. So all of my coaches were like, well, now you're gonna start fighting MMA. Well, they asked me, but I was kind of told. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll just go in there and start like kicking everybody. And they're like, no, 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 you have to learn grappling. And I was like, but I don't want to learn jiu-jitsu. And they're like, but you're going to. And that's how I started learning jiu-jitsu. So it was really actually one of the most frustrating things that I ever experienced. For the first like 6 months, I just remember just being very emotional. It was really difficult for me, but I stayed with it, you know, and I learned to love it. And I remember the moment when someone first walked in and they also didn't know anything, and I got to share with them some things that I had learned. And it made me start really realizing, like, number one, I do know a lot more than I thought that I knew. And number two, I can help other people who were in the same situation that I was in when I first walked into those doors. So, yeah, it's my little jiu-jitsu journey. Will you be at the UFC Fan Fest? Absolutely. I'm going to be at International Fight Week on July 4th, I believe is when the fights are happening, that Saturday. I'll be there all week, shaking hands, being awesome. Also, I will be doing things for extra rounds on UFC Fight Pass, and I'll be doing different commentating stuff while I'm there. So if you guys catch me, please come and say what's up. Someone asked, were you more nervous for your amateur debut, pro debut, or UFC debut? Of all of the fights that I ever had, I think the one I was most nervous for was my Contender Series, which is technically my UFC debut, and because that's like the feeder for the UFC, so that was me like, I gotta prove myself, I have to go out there and I have to show them why I deserve to be here. And it was a lot of pressure, and I definitely walked into that fight with all of the nerves, all of the anxiety. So, Contender Series. Oh my God, someone asked about shin splints lasting for 2 years. Whew. That's rough. No, I have had shin splints before, but if they're lasting for 2 years, I would definitely recommend going and seeing a doctor for that. Please, that's unnecessary roughness right there. How do you stay present and focused? Well, you know, I have like the attention span of a mosquito, so I'm all over the place all of the time. But when I engage in something, I'm fully immersed in that because I chose to be there in that moment. I could be anywhere else, and things do deserve your time and attention accordingly. So if I give myself, you know what, from 10 o'clock until 12 o'clock, I am training. From 10 o'clock until 12 o'clock, that is exactly where my mind is. It's not thinking about all of the other things that I have to do for the day. It's not thinking about different situations with my family or with my friends. From those hours, I am fully immersed and engaged in the task that is at hand. So just being present in everything that you're doing, it's gonna make a huge difference in all of your areas of your life. Ooh, favorite things to eat for junk food? Okay, so like I love chips and salsa, you know, like, which is really hard for me because like if you ever go to a Mexican restaurant, like they give you like the chips and salsa, it's really bad. Like I'll have like I'm like, hey, just like bring out like 3 trays of chips, please, like extra salsa, lots of guac, yeah, and extra queso. Of course, I love queso. Yeah, chips and salsa, definitely. And oh, I love ice cream too. Yeah, and I love cookie dough. Yeah, and like I love chocolate. Ooh, gummy bears. I love gummy bears. And cake. Cake's really good too. And yeah, I don't really love potato chips, but I love tortilla chips. So like, is that like the same thing? And popcorn? So much popcorn. But I feel like I can eat popcorn even when I'm dieting. And maybe I'm not supposed to, but I do. Shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, junk food. Aw, what a fun question. Someone says, how do you maintain such a cool, down-to-earth vibe when you're literally in the UFC? Thank you. What? Like, yes, I appreciate that first off. And second off, probably because like, I don't try to be perfect, you know, like it is what it is. Like I was like not in the UFC like not long ago, and I got to create this life. So, you know, it's like, I got here because I was having fun, living my best life, and I'm still having fun, living my best life. It's just like, you know, my dreams came true, and they're still coming true every single day. Yeah, thanks for being a part of those dreams. Am I a coffee drinker? I actually get this question a lot. People always think that I drink like so many like coffee and energy drinks and all that. And so I drink a cup of coffee in the morning, first thing when I wake up, and that's it. And just 1 cup of coffee. And because like, if I drink more than that, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know, I don't wanna know. I'm like nuts already. I'm like so wild all the time without the coffee. Like, don't give me any more caffeine, please. It's illegal. It's illegal for Little Monster to have too much caffeine. Ah! Someone said, I wanna see the stripper guard. Okay, I wanna show you the stripper guard. All right, it's like so awesome. I have like this whole entire like inversion series like wrapped around the stripper guard, particularly. And like I have like stripper chokes and like, you know, just like different things that are like stripper immersed tricks, and it's all a part of a series and I want to show you. So one day we're gonna put this series out, all right? Keep your eyes peeled. Not yet, but soon, okay? Someone said, do your face muscles ever hurt or get tired from smiling so much? I think they're really strong. I think I have really strong smile muscles, yeah. I think like I read somewhere that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile, which just goes to show you how much effort people have to put into not smiling. So like, I just like choose to save my energy and conserve it and just smile more. Yeah, it makes me feel better too. Someone asked, what is my preferred submission? I love arm bars. Yeah, I think I have like, hundreds of armbar submissions from all of the jiu-jitsu competitions that I've done. But here's the thing with jiu-jitsu competitions that people don't really recognize or realize. Like when we compete in jiu-jitsu, we're fighting like 7 times in one day. So there's like a lot that's happening, a lot of different tournaments, and I just really enjoy arm bars. So look out for your arms. That's why I like my logo. It's got like, it's like a cute little monster holding someone's arm, like, haha. Yeah. Ooh, how often do you get hit on? So I get hit on every day by my friends when they're punching me in the face. Yeah, get it? Get it? They're hitting on me. Yeah, you get it? No? It's not funny? I thought it was hilarious.
So you hit on people too then?
Yeah, oh my God, I hit on them all the time. Yeah, it gets a little embarrassing. Who was your toughest opponent as to this day? It's a really, it's a tight one because I've had some really tough fights. Unfortunately, even like prior to the UFC, to be honest with you. So I'll say very much between Caitlin Chikagan when I was an amateur and Lupita Godinez as a pro. So when I fought Caitlin Chikagan, we were still amateurs, and I definitely had broken my eye in between the first round, towards the end of the first round. And I remember the doctors coming in and asking me if I knew what day it was, if I knew what city I was in. And when doctors are asking you those types of questions, you just know that you look like shit. And I was like, oof, I wonder what my face looks like right now. And so at the beginning of the second round, she punched me again. My eye was swole shut. I couldn't see, but I wasn't gonna stop fighting, you know, because like, yeah, I'm not gonna stop fighting. So I'm like still fighting, and then she punched me again, and it cut open, and like, it was like bleeding, and I literally felt the relief. And like my eye was able to open up again, so I could see a little bit. It was very blurry, but I could still see, and I could keep fighting, and I was so happy about it. But that fight ended up getting stopped towards the end of the third round. And because the ref, like literally she's so much taller than me, if you know who Caitlin Chikagan is. She's very tall, even for the 125 division. And she was punching me, and I like front teeped her, but she still like jabbed me in the face. And that's when the ref was like, I've had enough. So I was like, man, he's like, blame it on me. I'm like, all right, I will blame it on you, because like I was still fighting. So that one was so, so tough. And then Lupita Godinez, Loopy, you know, who's a good friend of mine now. Definitely the toughest ever. Like I had like so many tears open on my face, 20 stitches after that fight. That was a title fight for the LFA. And yeah, that was really hard. That was 5 rounds of like just full on war. So very tough fight, Very, very, very tough fight. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've had a lot of tough fights, actually. Oh my gosh. like, it's like flashbacks. Like, hold on. How did you get your nickname? Little Monster is my nickname, and I got it when I first started fighting. I was the only girl in the gym, and I was around like a bunch of like very big male professional athletes, right? But I was not going to quit ever. Like, I swear I almost passed out like so many times just training, just because like I just go so hard in the pain. And I had a coach who would yell all the time. And he's like, in here, we build machines and we create monsters. And which one do you want to be? And so like I was just literally never ever gonna quit. So they started calling me a monster. You know, they're like, she's just a little monster. Like she's never gonna stop. Like she just keeps going. And yeah, so it was either that or Energizer Bunny. But Little Monster stuck. So, and everyone just calls me Monster. Someone asked, how long did it take to get your purple belt? I'm gonna change it to how long did it take to get my black belt? Because to get my purple belt, it took me about 3 years. But it took me 10 years to get my black belt in jiu-jitsu. So I was a white belt for about over a year, and then I was a blue belt for about over 2 years. And then I feel like I got stuck at purple belt forever. It was like an eternity. I was a purple belt for a solid 4, maybe 5 years. Definitely 4 years. Definitely, because I remember I was like, man, am I ever gonna get my brown? You know, and then like I was a brown belt for like 2 years. And then it's like, when you're a brown belt, you're like, I just want to be a black belt. Like, I already know everything. You don't know shit. Like, now that I got my black belt, I'm like, I know nothing. Like, I feel like the journey just like, it like clapped and reset. Like, that's what happened when I got my black belt. I'm like, oh, I have so much to learn still, you know? Like, you're so eager to get to that next belt, but just like understand and appreciate exactly where you are, because that's the part of the journey, to be honest. I mean, I get it. I was that person always like, come on, professor, like I'm ready for the next one. I'm ready for the next one. Like, no, maybe you're not, you know, but I know when people ask those questions, they ask them because they're like, oh, I feel like I've been here forever. Like, maybe, you know, but that's okay, because once you do get to the next belt level, you'll be so much more prepared. You'll be so much more ready once you finally get that purple belt to be able to smash everybody at the purple belt level. So keep those types of things in mind. I love you guys. Yeah. We're gonna be fighting on June 25th. We're fighting Jin Yu Fry in Las Vegas at the Apex Center. If you're not watching that fight, I don't know what else you're doing with yourself, because honestly, we're coming. This is happening. There's gonna be violence. There's gonna be excitement, and you already know what to expect. I'm wild. Things happen. Tune in. Be there. Be there with me. I'm in there. You guys are there with me, and that's why we make this so great and so exciting. UFC's coming to you in your living room June 25th. Make sure that you're watching. You don't want to miss it. Be there.